everybody. Lance Russell and Dave Brown right along ringside. By golly, we are geared and ready to go with another big day. Championship Wrestling. And you know, David, looking over the doggone card that we've got today and thinking about the action around, there are a lot of things happening with the Fabs and the Sheep continuing that worldwide brawl that they have, the massacre they have every time they get together. Just a lot of things. Bubba and Goliath together trying to get the Southern belts and all. What a doggone exciting time it is right now.
Absolutely right. And right here in the studio today, we got some of those folks. We've also got Jeff Jarrett, Billy Travis in here. They'll be here in the opening match today. Big Bubba and Goliath, you mentioned, they're going to be here as a tag team today. Other names, the Hunter will be here with his mascot Bambi, Boy Tony, Tarzan Goto, Pat Tanaka, and more.
Hey, listen, we got a special taped interview coming in from the King, too, I think people are going to be interested in. So, with all of that in store, why don't we do a little time taken out right now, and we'll be back in just one moment. As we get ready to go, David, will you do the... Oh, we're not even going to have a chance for the official introduction.
Yeah, because the team of Keith Roberson and Mike James over here jumped Jeff Jarrett and Billy Travis. Oh, look at this, a double flip, down they go, but they don't hold them for the 3 count. Out of the ring go Mike James and Keith Roberson. Well, I tell you, those guys decided we're going to jump them. Maybe we can get a pin on them quick. Jeff Jarrett, Billy Travis had other ideas. Jeff and Billy, you know them. They're in the ring right now. Jeff out of Nashville, Billy out of Lexington, Kentucky. 421 their total weight. Roberson and James both wrestling out of Memphis at a total of 471.
I think that looking at their tights, woo, look at that Billy Travis go after Roberson in the corner. Whipped him over, flying press. Has he got him? No, he got a 1 count. The Headhunters is what I was going to point out on their tights. People who remember them maybe is that. Jeff Jarrett takes the tag on the second rope.
Right down across the left shoulder of Keith Roberson. Roberson backed into the ropes. Jeff Jarrett whipped him across the way. Roberson caught him with a shoulder. Not a very good one. Jeff lets him go by this time. Steps and rolls him down.
Well, pardon me, Dave. I was noticing right there, one of the things that I think makes Jeff so exceptional in the way he's come along so fast is when he was moving and Roberson knocked him down, he's like a quarterback who's thrown a pass, and even though he's knocked down, he's still looking to see if it's complete. He was looking to see how he's going to make the move. That's why he stayed down and went under and then came up. He just got that good athletic perception, and that really makes a difference. That's why Billy and Jeff have done as well as they have as young fellas.
Billy off the rope, lower leg across the chest. There's a cover, counted 1, and that's all he can get. A couple of times, 3 times now to be exact in the match. Jeff and Billy looked like maybe they could go for the 3 count, but they just hadn't had him quite ready. Working on Roberson right there. He's down. The count's at 2, but Roberson kicks out at the 2 count. Tell you, Jeff will stay right on it.
Hey, Roberson is a big, strong guy. I mean,
he sure is.
You have to jolt him pretty good to keep him down for 3.
Yeah, with total weight between the 2 teams, the team of Jeff and Billy gives away 50 pounds to Roberson and Mike James, and that is a big, big difference. Jeff tags Billy. Travis works on the upper arm, grabs that left arm, wraps it up, down to the mat goes James. Jeff trying to get a little support from the crowd, and he gets it here.
Mike's got a little pigtail back there, David, in his hairdo. Billy was about to use it as a handle there. You know? He was trying to grab a hold of it.
Looked like he wanted to, thought better of it. He was near the corner and tagged Jeff. Clothesline by Jeff Jarrett. Boy, Jeff and Billy really tagging in and out quickly.
There seemed to be more today. They really got it going today.
Billy up on the middle rope. Down he goes with a splash. Roberson in. Jeff Jarrett keeping him out of the action. Everybody's going now. You got them all four in there. Roberson's head into the turnbuckle across the way. Billy has one. Jeff the other. They run them together. A head-on collision in the middle of the ring. Mike James. Double drop kick. Hits him. Jeff covers him. Counts 1, 2. Jeff and Billy in 4 minutes, 6 seconds of action get themselves a victory here over the Headhunters team of Keith Roberson and Mike James. Jeff and Billy get the victory. Time again, 4:06.
Yeah, that time it was a 1, 2, 3. Jeff, great. Billy. Boy, you guys had some great action going in there. Dave and I were talking. You were tagging in and out so well today. Really had it working today. And 2 or 3 times you had almost a shot at Roberson early on, but he's kind of a big, strong guy and hard to hold down for that 3 count. But you got him.
That's right, Lance. Me and Billy have been working together a couple of weeks.
Hey, you guys have been working hard. Can you hold it just a second? I'll give you a break right here, let you get your breath. And I'll tell you what we'll do. We'll take a look at a videotape in there that had this same Keith Roberson with Tony Burton when you guys were wrestling them about a week ago. And I don't have to remind you, but then Bubba and Goliath made their appearance. Let's take a look. That they don't know everything. They still got a lot to learn. They make mistakes, but they're going to get in there and give it everything they've got every time. Look at that. Almost a pin on Keith Roberson, but Burton breaks it up and jumps on Travis. And look at Jeff Jarrett, not to leave his partner hanging out to dry. Right back at him. Whoa, we got all 4 of them really swinging away at each other.
And right now, Burton and Roberson getting the advantage. Oh, look out. Here comes Goliath and Bubba jumping in there. Roberson holding up Travis. Now Goliath working on. He's got a chain. He was hammering him with a chain.
So nobody can get in to help him out. And they're not letting anybody come in to help Jeff and Billy while these 2 400-pound giants are in there pounding. Not pounding only, with chains. They've got Billy and Jeff both bleeding. Yeah. Well, I don't need to remind you about that. It's too fresh in your mind.
That's right, Lance. That tape right there shows the story. These guys are supposed to be real big and bad. Bubba and Goliath. Both of them weigh over 400 pounds, 800 pounds put together.
Right.
They're supposed to be real big men. Well, Lance, they showed how big a men they are. They come in the ring, they have to bring chains to bust our head open. That don't show me nothing. We got a match with them this week for the belts. We're the Southern Tag Team Champions. We're proud of it, and we're going to walk out of that ring the Southern Tag Team Champions.
Yeah, you got reason to be proud of it, and it's not going to be easy to keep it, but that's what your intention is, Billy.
You know, Lance, we are hot. Let me tell you 2 big fat jerks something. When we meet you this week, brother, you're going to see blood, but it's not going to be on us. It's going to be on you. And Bruno, I know how you like cake. Well, you show up, and this is the cake you're going to get right here.
Okay. Hey, good luck to you. Thanks for dropping by. Well, I got to tell you what, a doggone good team, and it'll be interesting to see when they go against somebody for the belts as big as that Bubba and Goliath. Time out. We're going to be back in just 1 moment. I'm going to tell you what, championship wrestling is going to be loaded for bear Wednesday night with 7 outstanding matches. You have got in particular 3 outstanding. This could be a triple main event with no trouble at all. International title match. You're going to be seeing a loser eats the cake match we're going to be talking about, and then you're going to finally see what should be one of the wildest tag matches in a long time. Idol and Rich going against Lawler and Bockwinkel. Yeah, we'll have more on that a little bit later on. Right now, I want to bring Jeff Jarrett, Billy Travis in here. They're going to be going against Big Bubba Goliath. Bruno, of course, is in the corner. And this is a loser eats the cake match, which, looking at that, that's a pretty good-looking cake. I think I could go for that myself.
Yeah. Well, Lance, it does look like a good cake.
It is? Yeah.
I wouldn't mind eating it, but the loser in the match has to eat this cake, and me and Billy, we've come up with a little special stipulation, and we got a little icing to put on this cake. Billy, show them that icing.
Oh, you know, take a look at this, Lance. This is going to be the icing.
Oh, no.
Right there.
That's
Oh,
right.
no.
Right
You mean the icing is made out of Ex-Lax? Is that
right.
the idea?
That's right, Lance. The loser in the match has to stand in the ring and eat this cake with the special ice on Ex-Lax.
Oh, good night. Well, now you understand the loser of the match, so this could relate to you guys, too.
That's right, but we're not planning on that, Billy.
You know, Lance, I would like to talk about something. I'd like to talk about two big fat jerks. I wanted to finish it in Evansville. He wanted to finish it in Evansville. I guarantee you Wednesday night in the Coliseum, you're going down, you two big fat slobs, and it's going to be red all over your face. It's going to be blood. Bruno, we're going to sit there and make you eat that cake, and you better watch out, brother, because you're going to be at that Coliseum all night, if you know what I mean.
He does, in fact, have a liking for cake. That's going to be one to see. You better be out there and see it all. Well, I think it's time right now to have the meeting of the downtown group. And here they are, downtown Bruno, Big Bubba and Goliath. Yes,
let me tell you something.
Tell me something.
Let me tell you something before I get into what I want to discuss here. I want to give a message to all these freeloaders out here. I'm talking about these rednecks sitting here looking at me. I want to tell you something, Lance Russell. I know for a fact that none of these ugly-looking hillbilly redneck geeks paid a dime to get in here. They got in here free. They didn't have to pay nothing.
That's no secret.
Because they can't afford a ticket anyway, apparently. They can't even afford decent clothing. I mean, look at them. I've never seen so many bums in my life. Well, let me tell you something, you welfare rejects. You got in here free. I'm downtown Bruno. I'm the one you came to see, so I got something to tell you. I don't want to hear none of you goofballs calling a great downtown Bruno a weasel. I want you to... No! Shut up! I don't want none of these goofballs calling me a weasel. I'm downtown Bruno. Let me tell you something. Any one of yin's people out here call me a weasel, I am personally going to come into the audience and belt you right in the mouth. I mean it. I'm going to belt you right in the mouth. Now then.
Let me tell you something.
Oh!
You found out during the tournament that Jeff Jarrett and Billy Travis can take care of themselves pretty well when it comes to...
take care of themselves, nothing. Let me tell you something, Lance Russell. The only way they can take care of themselves is when Eddie Marlin and Frank Morrell and Jared Calhoun and you and the rest of them come to their defense. Because they ain't nothing. Let me tell you something. They shouldn't even be in the same ring with the Downtown Connection. This team weighs close to 1,000 pounds. This is the biggest tag team in the history of professional wrestling. There is no way, brother, there is no way that those two little skinny punks ought to be in the ring with these two. They look like school kids out of preschool.
Who's got the belt?
Wait, that ain't the point. Eddie Marlin wanted them to have the belts. That's why they got the belts. They're taken care of. They're protected. They're just paper champions, paper tigers. Well, let me tell you something. You ever seen Jeff Jarrett? He's so skinny he could go swimming in a hose. Then you got Billy Travis. You put him in a fur hat, you can use him for a Q-tip. I mean, these guys are skinny. They're beanballs. They ain't nothing. Well, these two are going to smash them into the dirt. They ought to be in the ring with me. I'm way bigger than Jeff Jarrett. I'm much stronger than Billy Travis. And I am obviously one heck of a lot better looking. That's the way it is, Lance Russell. Wow. We're talking size, we're talking about strength, we're talking about twisted steel, and right here, baby, Downtown Bruno, sex appeal. 42 Kane Boulevard. Come on, Jarrett. Come on, Travis. You thought you were going to make a fool out of me last week. Well, you ain't going to make a fool out of me no more. Because when these guys got the straps, and I'm walking around with the 20 pounds of gold saying, oh, yeah, baby, then what? 42 Kane Boulevard, we're going to have the tag team belts. Ha!
Okay, Bruno, you take your guys to the ring. We got a little match coming up. As far as the Southern tag belts, that's going to be proven in the ring, not with you talking out here.
Well, let me just say one more thing. Cameraman, ha! Right? I don't want to hear that weasel stuff no more. No weasel, I'm going to belt you all in the mouth.
Really impressive. Downtown Bruno, Big Bubba, and Goliath. To the ring they go. They've got a match coming up, and we're about ready for it, David.
One full 10-minute time limit. Coming into the ring to face the downtown connection, Jim Jameson and John Paul. Their total weight at 442. John Paul out of Minneapolis, Jim Jameson out of Memphis, Tennessee. Referee Jerry Calhoun sends Goliath from Pittsburgh out on the apron. And starting for the downtown connection from Miami, Florida, it's Big Bubba.
Look at that.
He's the little one at 407.
Right.
Yeah.
Lance Russell. I think
That's the name.
That's right. I think I made my point rather clear that I don't want to hear no weasel from nobody. I just want them to do the three-finger sign, meaning they love downtown Bruno, because we all know the three-finger sign means downtown Bruno. And right now you got this punk John Paul and his buddy Jameson. Well, I'll tell you what, you're going to see some destruction in the ring, baby, because this ain't. Look at that. John Paul.
I saw a nice clean break. I hope we'll see that.
You saw a hair pull. You saw. Now look at that. Stomping on the foot. Stomping on the. This is ridiculous. That's cheating. There's cheating tactics. Wait a minute.
I thought it was a smart tactic myself.
Got him right on the corns and then got him with a drop kick. Nice move by John Paul. He's a dandy. Fine young wrestler from Minneapolis.
It's all been taken care of, Lance.
All taken.
Just a slight miscalculation. That's all it is. Hey, we're going to beat this John Paul and his buddy. They're just like we would beat up on your Soul Train Jones, on your Fabulous Ones, on your Jerry Lawler. The list goes on and on. You get all kind of punks. They all stand in line one by one, single file or double. It don't matter. They get in the ring with the downtown connection. They get in the ring with Boy Tommy. They get in the ring with downtown Bruno, and they get destroyed. They get beat. Watch it. Whoa, 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 whoa. He didn't miss with that, did he, baby? He didn't have to miss. He didn't have to do nothing. John Paul did it all himself. John Paul, he got delusions of adequacy in there. He thinks he stands a chance against Goliath. Now you got Jameson in there. This is ridiculous. This is like taking candy from a baby. I think he wishes he was back on welfare. I think after today he will be if he ain't in the hospital.
All right, what a body slam. That might put you in the hospital ordinarily, I'll tell you. Oh.
Look at that, baby.
Squashed right against those turnbuckles.
Powered him right in there.
Look at Jameson. He's red like a fire engine. He's sucking air like a vacuum cleaner. Yeah.
Never stop. Non-stop downtown Bruno mouth. Such a clothesline. It was almost a knockout right with that big arm of Bubba's. Good night.
So let me tell you something. If Jameson's eyes were any further in the back of his head, brother, he could see what's going on in that pea brain of his, and maybe he could find out for himself what kind of way of thinking he's doing, why he's in the ring with the downtown connection. Look at this. He's going to drive him through the ring, baby. Oh, no, he drove him through his knee.
Little backbreaker in there from Bubba to Jim Jameson. 1, 2. Leg up on the rope, and that broke it.
Well, that's what you call reflex action, you understand? Reflex action. The guy obviously doesn't know where he is. If you ask him where he was, he'd probably say 42 Kane Boulevard. And that's probably where he wishes he was, because Bubba and Goliath are in Memphis. They're not on 42 Kane Boulevard, so Jameson don't have nothing to worry about. You know what I'm saying? But see, he ain't on 42 Kane Boulevard. He's in a square circle. He's getting destroyed. Look at the man. Squash him like a bug, Goliath. Come on, baby. That's the way. Show him what that turnbuckle tastes like, Jack. Oh, yeah. That's it. If I was them, I'd just let him tag, beat up John Paul for a while. I mean, it gets boring beating up on the same guy, but hey, if they want to do it, don't matter. It don't matter. They can beat up whoever they want to.
Big elbow. Bubba kicks Jim Jameson right back into the ring, and Goliath is waiting on him.
Hey, you and Dave Brown next week, right? We got you and Dave Brown next week. Hey, I don't know. I'd like to sign into a contract. What do you say, huh?
Hey, knock it off, will you, Bruno? Go up and do what you're supposed to do and be a manager in the corner instead of trying to be something else.
Who are you to tell me what to do? Who are you to tell me what to do? That's what I like to do. Nobody tells me what to do. Nobody tells me what to do. Nobody tells
That's
me what
because
to
they
do.
can't get a word in, that's why.
Well, that's right, baby. I'm the women's best men's return. I do what I want to do, Jack. I tell them to go in and destroy people. That's what we're doing. They could have beat these guys with a dirty look. But instead, I just hurt them, make them suffer. Don't let them forget that they've been in there with the downtown connection. I bet you tonight when Jameson goes home or back in the hospital, wow. He's going to feel like he just won 8 rounds with a cement mixer, Jack.
Yeah, that's that's the one point you and I would agree on. I think that is true. Bubba just caught him with a clothesline that looked like it took him. He's just about out on his feet right now. He's standing, but he's not really. Goliath.
And he's being held up by Bubba and Goliath. There's no way he can stand. Come on, how can you stand on spaghetti? That's what his legs are at this point. Spaghetti. Spaghetti with red and blue tights and the white boots. Who does he think he is? Soul Train Jones. Soul Train Jones ain't no good anyway. This guy's trying to be his imitator. Boy, hey, I'm an innovator, not an imitator, Lance Russell. That's what a Downtown Connection is on top. That's what a Downtown Connection is going to be. The next AWA Southern Tag Team Champions. And that's why Downtown Bruno is the #1 manager in professional wrestling, the #1 manager in the history of the South, in the history of the business, in the history of the sport. And now, baby, you're going to see. Look at this. Look at this. He slams him one more time. I'm going to tell you what. Jim Jameson's going to be suing his back for non-support.
Bruno, you're giving me a headache. How about shutting up for a little while?
Hey, give me a break. The people are tuning in to see Downtown Bruno, not Lance Russell. All you are, Lance Russell, is the guy that sits here and looks nice. Wow, so you can hold a microphone for Downtown Bruno. 1, 2, 3, baby. That's all there is to it.
Well, total domination by the large A.
Years in the business, baby. I got it right there. They're going to get me them belts. The next tag team champion.
You better go help them. They may not be able to read the exit sign. Let them walk.
Oh, comedian.
Okay, Davey, how about the time? Total domination, no question. And it doesn't surprise you with Bruno and Bubba.
Yeah, they really did dominate it for 5 minutes, 35 seconds of action, and nonstop talking from Bruno over here.
Amen. Let's take a break and give our ears a rest right here. We'll be back with more of it in just a moment. Card right down there at Coliseum coming up a Wednesday night in Evansville, because it is a dandy. You get it 7 matches at regular prices, and boy, it's a triple main eventer if you ever heard it. Going to go like this: Tarzan Goto in a single against Alan West. Mr. Rising Sun will be there going against Roy Lee Welch. Pat Tanaka faces Boy Tony with kind of a little feud to settle. Watch the entire show and you'll know. Paul Diamond goes against Jonathan Boyd. International Heavyweight Championship match when Soul Train defends against the Muscular Hunter. And then it's going to be the loser eats the Ex-Lax cake match with Bubba and Goliath against Jeff and Billy. And the final bout, I just can't say enough about this one. Universal Heartthrob Austin Idol Wildfire Tommy Rich on one side of the ring, strong. Listen to this: the King Jerry Lawler, champion Nick Bockwinkel in that tag match. What a night. Jonathan Boyd, the head sheepherder, standing here, and there's a match in the making in the future between the Fabulous Ones, the Sheepherders, and what it's going to be. Some kind of a massacre. Jonathan, this is an unusual bout coming up.
That's right. We've chosen the name for it. It's called the Ultimate Mid-South Massacre, and I've got to bloody explain it to you people. You want to play games, Fabulous Ones, do you? You want to hide baseball bats under the ring? You want to play a game? You want to play a game of violence? A game that will end one team or the other. That's right. The Ultimate Massacre means one team will be out of professional wrestling forever, and I'll tell you why. First of all, the game. There's going to be a football, and on the end of the football, there's going to be a key. And inside the ring, there's going to be 2 penalty boxes. You want to have Paul Diamond down at ringside, do you? Well, he's going to be in the ring. He's going to be in one box, and I'm going to be in the other. And there's going to be 2 padlocks, and the key to the padlocks is going to be on the football. So the team that can play the best game of rugby, and that's our game, a violent sport, the team that can play the best game of rugby can get the key and let out the other one. Now that means 3 on the 2. But to make it even better, seeing that the Fabulous Ones like to use a baseball bat, inside the box with you, Diamond, there's going to be a baseball bat. And inside the box with me, there's going to be a baseball bat. And whoever gets out can finish the others with the bloody baseball bat. That means if I'm out first, I take that baseball bat and I end the career of the Fabulous Ones forever. Do you understand that? Forever. Because there's no rules. There's no rules. It's who plays the game the best. And we play the game better than anybody else. Do you understand that? So, that is the match. A football, a key on it, 2 penalty boxes, Diamond in one with a baseball bat, me in the other with a baseball bat. And I'll tell you what, we got a plan. We got a plan to end the Fabulous Ones' career forever, and we're gonna do it. Long live New Zealand and down with the USA.
Well, the match is coming up. It's what's called the Ultimate Mid-South Massacre. It's between the Sheepherders and the Fabulous Ones, and it is destined to be some kind of a brutal thing. Let's take a listen to what Stan and Steve had to say about the Ultimate Massacre.
You know, I've got to say, I think one of the hardest parts about being a professional wrestler is standing in front of a little camera and talking to them on a microphone and telling people what you think you're going to do, what you plan to do. Because a lot of times that doesn't work out. You know, I've got to say, Eddie Marlin, I think you've kind of like tipped over the violent stage. I think you're kind of having flashbacks when the Fabulous Ones wrestled the Moondogs, when the Fabulous Ones got in there with boards and sticks and chains and whatever come in hand. And I think it's that time now that we got to start looking into the future. This is 1987. You know, wrestling has gotten blown out of shape to a certain extent. It seems like every week it goes a little bit farther, a little bit farther. Lives seem to teeter-totter on the edge when guys start getting into this violence. Well, let me tell you something. What we've got here is we've got 2 countries. We've got the United States represented right here in Memphis, Tennessee by the Fabulous Ones. And we've got the land down under represented by 3 goofs carrying a steel pole with a flag at the end. Every time I come out in Memphis, Tennessee, from the time I step out that door, and I know the same feeling goes through Stan's hearts, is whatever you do, you can't quit. Because not only is your reputation riding on it, but all these people out there in that crowd are dependent on you. Well, I make this promise to everybody that's listening on this TV airway, from myself, from Stan Lane, and from Jackie Fargo. We are not quitters. We're not about to quit. We don't care what kind of match comes up. We don't care if it's baseball bats. We don't care if it's boards, it's chains. The idea is go out there and defend what you think is right and stand up for it. And let me tell you something, ladies and gentlemen, that's what we're going to do in Memphis Coliseum.
In the ring right now, David Johnson, and making their way to the ring, the Hunter. The Hunter with his mascot, Bambi, at ringside. This match a 1-fall, 10-minute time limit match. The referee, Jerry Calhoun. David Johnson out of Memphis, Tennessee at 203 pounds. The Hunter out of Black Rock Mountain, Georgia. He weighs 231. The Hunter against David Johnson. The Hunter, heavy favorite going into the match.
What a stocky, solid, physical specimen this Hunter is, and he is very active. He's quick. David just got a tough day in store. There's that little trademark of his, a very quick, tight snap suplex. He does it well.
David Johnson off the rope. The Hunter with the upper arm puts him down. A slam by the Hunter. Hunter took control from the opening moment. As expected, reverse neck breaker. Boy, surprised he doesn't go for a pin there. He might have a shot at a 3 count already. David Johnson, power slam down to the mat by the Hunter. There's a count of 2.
He got it.
3, that's it. And this time, Bambi did not interfere in the match. It was all the Hunter in there. Count of 3 in 1:08 seconds, 1:08.
She didn't have a chance to interfere, boy. He just dominated, took it over, and it was all done. The winner, the Hunter. We've got time out. Back in a moment. Jerry the King Lawler right here with us, and boy, it's been too long, and I know you're saying that too. Jerry, before I get into talking with you, what I'd like to do is to go back for anybody who may have missed it and to refresh those who have forgotten it, exactly what happened tonight with Austin Idol and Tommy Rich. Let's take a look.
The official victory goes to Lawler on a disqualification. There goes Calhoun out on the concrete. Rich rolling Lawler over. He and Idol are up to something. Look out! Oh, no. Rich on one leg, Idol on the other, and they slam Lawler, straddle that ring post.
While we were watching that, Jerry said to me, you don't have to remind me about that.
No, that's true, Lance. That's something that not only have I watched on videotape just like that many times since it happened, but it's something that I've relived in my mind many, many times, and it's something that'll stay with me forever, Lance. So, as you know, I'm not trying to make any excuse. Wrestling is a very tough profession, and I've known that, and I'm not trying. You know, the old saying is, if you can't stand the heat, you might as well get out of the kitchen. I know, especially when you go in the ring with two guys like Tommy Rich and Austin Idol, it's not going to be a cakewalk. But you never really expect something like this to happen to you, Lance. And in all the years that I've been wrestling, this is one of the most serious injuries. It required surgery, and it's just something that kind of thing, Lance, shouldn't be tolerated in wrestling, and it's not going to be.
I gotta add, Jerry, from two guys who were supposed to be your friends.
Yeah, well, this has shown me that, like I said, this is a tough profession. Friendship is something that I think that one of the very few things that you can value more than any kind of monetary gains or possessions or anything like that. But it just shows you that when there's a lot of money at stake, which there is in professional wrestling, when there's egos involved and things like that, you might as well not kid yourself. You can just throw friendship out the window. Here's, like you said, especially Austin Idol, a guy, you know, just this month, Lance, we were supposed to be going to Japan to compete in the World Cup Tag Team tournaments, and all that's now out the window, as is any thoughts of friendship.
Let me interrupt you right here, Jerry. I want to take a look and let you listen to what Idol and Rich had to say about this upcoming match.
Jerry Lawler making his last hurrah, baby. You're making your big comeback. Now, one thing I'll say, you brought the man in that the heartthrob and myself wanted to whoop up on, too. Nick Bockwinkel, one of the best wrestlers in the country. You know, but Lawler, sit back and think. That's the man you throwed powder in his eyes, throwed the fireball on. Now, how much? How much can you trust him? Think about it, Lawler, because all we want is you, Jack. When you reach out, is Bockwinkel going to tag you? You don't know. Heartthrob knows I'm going to tag him. Brother, Evansville, Louisville, it don't matter where it's at. You better be ready to go.
Probably the biggest sporting extravaganza to come to this area in a long time, Tommy.
Yes, sir.
Probably are going to be sold-out crowd. Probably going to have photographers and sports reporters from all over the world to see the big comeback. Probably newspapers are going to write about it. It's going to be on the radio. It's going to be on every television program in the United States to mark the comeback of Jerry Lawler, but it will be foiled. It will be spoiled. Nobody can take the measure of Tommy Rich and Austin Idol, and many of them have tried it. And they've all ended up in the same position, down and out. And Lawler come back this time, and it's for good.
Lance, all I can think of, you know the old saying, when the cat's away, the mice will play, and that's exactly what's happened. They figured, Lance, that they had me completely out of wrestling. They thought my career was over.
That's a couple of times.
That's why they're running their mouths, and I guarantee you they don't think right now that when I come back in this match, they don't think I'm going to be 100%. Well, I got news for them. They got another thing coming, and I'm going to be more than 100% because, as I said, Lance, I've watched this tape. I've gone through my mind, and in all the years that I've been wrestling, I've never had an injury like this. I've never had anybody try to do anything like this, especially two guys that I thought were my friends, and I'm going to show them, just like I've said before. They've known what it's like when I was a friend, and now they're going to know what it's like when I'm going to be their worst enemy. And believe me, Lance, I'm going to be the worst enemy that they've ever had in their lives.
Here are some words from Nick Bockwinkel, the AWA World Heavyweight Champion, who's agreed to be Jerry's partner against Austin Idol and Tommy Rich.
Austin Idol, you once were a great wrestler. Tommy Rich, likewise. But something very bad has taken place. Something very bad has happened. That the two of you not only did what you did to Mr. Lawler, but you've got to do a 2-on-1? Now, I'm telling it to you, and I'm telling it to you straight. Even I'm possibly not tough enough to handle two men, especially when one's coming from behind, and have the ring wise and the ring generalship that both of you do. You both must be awfully desperate to do what you did to Lawler, to do what you felt you had to do to me, because I guess you must have seen it coming down the pike. Now, Mr. Lawler and I have no warm emotional feelings towards each other, but we have tremendous professional respect. And that respect is going to come into the ring as a dynamic force, because you were taking the world's heavyweight champion and the #1 contender in Mr. Lawler, and you were putting both of them in there against the two of you. And if you don't think we can't do a hell of a job, you're going to find out.
That's right, Lance. Nick Bockwinkel, the world heavyweight champion, is going to be my partner. And there's no love lost, I can guarantee you, between Nick and Austin Idol. He's got a personal score to settle with him. So Austin Idol and Tommy Rich, or you mice, as I like to call you, you do a lot of playing between now and match time, because the cat is back in town. And I'm going to do a number on you two jerks you'll never forget.
Main eventer, international heavyweight championship match. You've got that fantastic grudge match with Idol and Rich against Bockwinkel and Lawler, and you have the Jeff and Billy against Big Bubba and Goliath, and the loser eats the Chocolate Ex-Lax cake.
Hey, I say big deal. If that's what they want to do, dig their own graves, then good for them. Hey, they're just burning their own selves up. You know what I mean? It's going to backfire. They're going to eat the cake. There's no way that the Downtown Connection is going to lose it. Those two little skinny punks. I'm going to tell you something. I hope they like Evansville a lot better than I do, because they're going to be there all night long. And I want to say this. It's a good thing I got such a good tag team, because I don't want to stay in Evansville any longer than I have to, because I hate it there, Lance.
Let me tell you something. I was embarrassed once in Evansville. It won't happen a second time. You hear me, Billy Travis, Jeff Jarrett? I heard you on the TV. The only sounds that you'll be making will be from the men's room of the Coliseum. I hope you understand that, because by the time we're finished with you, that's the only place you'll be fit for.
Well, they came up with the idea. I think it's because they think you like cake, Bruno.
Oh, real funny. You a comedian now or something? What? Hey, they're two punks. They had no right to put my face in no cake, and they're going to find out what it's all about, because maybe after they eat it, I'll go get another one just to put it in their face. What do you think of that, Lance Russell?
Well, we'll find out what they think of it when it comes up to Wednesday night in there. Downtown Bruno with his massive team of Goliath and Big Bubba going against Jeff and Billy, and the loser of a match eats the Ex-Lax cake.
Evansville, the cesspool of the entire world.
Oh, don't start on that knocking stuff. Well, you be out there Wednesday night. Find out exactly who is going to have to eat that particular special cake that will be in action coming up for that match. And that final bout again, can I tell you any more? The King going with Nick Bockwinkel against Idol and Rich Wednesday night.
But you always are causing trouble out here. Now let's try not to.
Obviously with downtown Bruno and boy Tony out here, yes.
Yes. Let me tell you something. First of all, I got all kind of stuff going on. Me and my good friend Tojo teaming up with a little Orient Express with the Downtown Connection, as it were. You know what I'm saying, Lance?
Kind of an interesting pairing.
Now
today.
then, let me tell you something. They took a survey. Better Homes and Garbage magazine. Of course, that's what all these redneck hillbillies read, Better Homes and Garbage. But they took a survey. Who is the best-looking man in professional wrestling? Who is the best-looking man in professional wrestling? And the man is the magnificent, the wonderful Boy
Tony. That's what they all said. Boy, Tony is the man. And I want to tell you something. We've been getting all kind of offers from Hollywood, California, from New York City. And you know what they say, everything west of Broadway is camping out. So it is our city. Everything east of Sunset Boulevard is camping out. That is our city, too. This man's been offered to take the place of Robert Redford, Dustin Hoffman, all of them, baby. Boy, Tony. And I think Boy Tony has a few comments to make, so I'm going to turn over the microphone.
Can I tell you, you've got an interesting team. It'd be just as well if maybe you got in the ring. You've got Pat Tanaka and you've got Alan West.
You got a beach bum and a slant eye. Hey.
Let me tell you something. Lance Russell, this is the greatest manager in all the world, downtown Bruno. But you know something? Today we wrestle Pat Tanaka and this here Alan West.
Yep.
Now, you look at Tanaka, you know, he's really not a bad-looking guy. He's got that nice long black hair.
Nice-looking young man.
So I promise Bruno when I get in there, you know, I'm not going to do nothing to his face if I can help it. I'm not going to hurt him too bad. We're just going to win the match.
I see. So you're going to take it easy on Pat Tanaka today because you like his face.
Yes,
you think he's kind of cute?
Yes, he is.
Well, you get him up to the ring.
I got no comment, but Alan West is a beach bum. Alan West is a beach bum.
Okay, Bruno. Let's go to the ring and, well, Dave.
Okay.
You take it. I ain't got anything else to say either.
It's an expiration of time match. About all I can say. Boy, Tony, Tarzan Goto teamed up. I guess downtown Bruno and Tojo will both be at ringside here, their respective managers. And across the way, it is Pat Tanaka and Alan West. Alan out of Zuma Beach, California, 250 pounds. Pat Tanaka, 210 out of Hawaii. Boy Tony out of St. Louis. Tarzan Goto out of Tokyo.
We really didn't get it.
Hey, don't get none of your bad breath on this, Lance Russell.
Bruno, will you leave us alone for a while?
Oh, go eat some cake.
Can you imagine, this is the first time to my knowledge we've had Bruno and Tojo out here at the same time.
Right.
I do not envy the position that Alan West and Pat Tanaka are in today. It's bad enough with Goto and Boy Tony, but to have Tojo and Bruno out here at ringside, stand clear, friends.
Alan West, boy, he weighs in at 250. He's got good size on him. Looks like he's in good shape. Boy Tony is big too, but West looks to be in much better shape physically than Boy Tony. I don't think I'll elaborate on that either. Alan West, good moves. Boy, he can get off his feet too. Good drop kicks. Here's Goto. Goto, handful of hair, drops Alan West down to the mat. Sits down on his left arm.
I'd heard a few of the guys talk about this Alan West. He's a good youngster. Boy, let me tell you, he's in with a class act as a partner in there. Really like this Tanaka. He can go.
You know what? I want to declare right now, if that no good Alan West is a beach bum. He's a cheater. He's a beach bum. I thought Tanaka was one from Honolulu. Alan West is a beach bum. That's what he is, a beach bum.
I don't think the folks of Zuma Beach, California are going to take too kindly to that, Bruno. But then I don't guess that's going to worry you. Tanaka tag on Alan West and the much larger West. I asked Alan about his weight. He said, well, 252. He said, no, to tell you the honest truth, I've lost a couple of pounds. I'm down to 250. I said, oh, gee.
Yeah, that's right. Boy Tony in here. Alan West.
Say who Alan West looks like. That's not no Magnum. That's a small caliber pistol, brother.
Oh, okay. Glad you brought it up, Bruno. Pat Tanaka from Hawaii takes over. There's a tag on. Now, these guys know each other from the past.
Yeah, they do.
Goto and Tanaka ought to be a whale of a one. This is expiration of time, yeah.
Tanaka back to the corner, and the tag on Alan West. Alan and Goto have faced each other once before in the match, and Alan West matched him move for move. Goto chop across the back of the neck.
A co-reading, a beach bum and a co-reading. That's what we got. A beach bum and a co-reading.
I heard you, Bruno.
but down to the mat goes Boy Tony.
Alan showing a little of that strength that is fairly obvious from that physique of his.
Boy Tony reversed. He's the one that went into the corner, and Alan West, as he bounced out of there, picked him up and threw him down to the mat. In the air again, Boy Tony, a body slam by Alan West. Bruno leading into the ring, yelling, hey, pulled his hair, pulled his hair. He didn't. But Bruno will try to convince the referee and anybody else that'll listen to that. Here's Pat Tanaka. Tony says, hey, wait a minute, let's shake hands.
Woo!
Hey, how about a back kick, huh?
Oh, yeah.
Look out, Goto jumps in there too. Everybody in the ring. It's Falk against Tanaka. It's West against Goto. Out of the ring goes Alan West. Goto threw him out of the ring between the ropes. Now they've got Pat Tanaka over here. Look out, downtown Bruno. Referee's calling for the bell. He has just disqualified downtown Bruno. Yamamoto with the kendo stick.
Trying to get Jerry Calhoun to get over there. He's just beating the stew out of him. Look at this. What is Boy Tony doing? While Bruno and Goto are holding Pat Tanaka. Oh, now I got to get up and see this. They are painting Pat Tanaka up. That's terrible. Come on, Jerry. Good night. Putting lipstick all over him, rouge all over him. Alan West being pounded by Yamamoto every time he gets up to come back and try to help his partner. And they still... Boy Tony just painting Pat Tanaka up. Tanaka being held by Goto and downtown Bruno. Alan West breaks loose over there, slams Tojo. He's coming up to help out his partner, and he got Goto. Oh, boy, the bout was stopped. Man, I got to tell you, though, look at Pat Tanaka. Isn't that a shame? He took the whole makeup bit out of his purse, Dave. Painted his lips up, his eyes, everything all over him. Now, I guess that's in character for Boy Tony, but it really makes you hot. And what they did, have three of them holding him over there by the rope so that he couldn't do it. Tojo was over there beating on Alan West with that kendo stick. What was the time?
Time on it was 4:47 when the disqualification occurred. So Tanaka and Alan West, some consolation for them. They're going to win the fall.
Oh, man, what a embarrassing thing for Tanaka to have to go through. Well, we're going to take time out, check our time, and see if maybe we'll have any more to be able to come back with a second fall. We'll check that and be back in a second. You know, that's an insidious thing, because there's nothing really that hurt Pat Tanaka out of putting the makeup on him right there with the guys holding him so Boy Tony could dress up his face in there. But it's one of those things that just gnaws at you and humiliates you, and just all you want to do is get a hold of the guy that did it.
And I bet he'll do it somewhere down the road.
Yeah, Pat will have a chance. You better believe me.
Yeah, maybe Pat will get even with him there. We had quite an interesting day here today. Jeff and Billy Travis, Jeff Jarrett and Billy Travis won their match over Keith Roberson and Mike James. Roberson and James, a big tag team. They had size on them, but boy, Jeff and Billy look very good. Their superior athletic ability is what won that match for them today, as it has so many in the past, and I'm sure will so many more in the future. Big Bubba and Goliath. This one beginning to get a little upset because John Paul and Jim Jameson were in there. They had Jameson in the ring. They just kept beating him up. He was out on his feet. They would not go for the pin. Finally, downtown Bruno says, all right, now. So after 5 minutes, 35 seconds, Big Bubba and Goliath did pin Jim Jameson and got the win in the match.
There's a case where I don't know about you, and I'm sure you are too. I'm ready to see Bruno chained to the ring post so we don't have to put up with him over here. The guy comes over and starts that non-stop long playing lip of his, and it just gets on your nerves.
Get rid of him. I know it. That's the way it is. The Hunter in here with Bambi in a single match, won over David Johnson in about a minute. Then it was Memphis Vice taking on Rough and Ready, and as I said at the conclusion of the match, I was really impressed with the Memphis Vice. You mentioned they have really expanded their repertoire in a way that they can win matches now in many different ways rather than just one, and they showed that today. Looked very good as they defeated Rough and Ready in tag team action. Then Pat Tanaka, Alan West, technically they get the victory because there was a disqualification on Boy, Tony, and Tarzan Goto when downtown Bruno, Tojo was also in the corner, but downtown Bruno was the manager that interfered in that, and the referee disqualified them. So it looks like the team of Alan West and Pat Tanaka got a victory, but I'm sure, as you mentioned, they're not satisfied with that.
Yeah, well, of course, Tojo also, we're talking about Pat. Now, on the physical side of it, Tojo was over there beating Alan West with that kendo stick every time he tried to get up and come in there and help Pat Tanaka out. Ultimately, Alan, he looks like an interesting possibility.
Yeah, he does.
Boy,
at 250, he's big enough to take care of himself.
He's a specimen, and he showed his worth today as he finally got in there and got him out of there and wasn't able to Pat to get away from it. By golly, we're out of time. Looking for you next week on Championship Wrestling. So, for Dave Brown, this is Lance Russell saying bye-bye, everybody.